See what the Lord has done, what you waited for has come to pass. See what the Lord has done. See what the Lord has done. All right. We're live. And we're live. It's another Wednesday. It's another Wednesday to share my thoughts on a particular topic that I feel that people need to know, people need to be aware of. Last week, we started the discussion as regards time management, and how kids need to, how parents need to start teaching their kids how to manage time effectively. Today, we are going to be looking at some other part of time management that parents um, are not aware of. Some other part of time management that parents are not aware of, and it's going to be something that I've observed, that I've taken note of, and I feel that all this kind of thing needs to be discussed. Parents need to learn this. Parents need to kind of have a form of discussion with their kids so as to have a better relationship, have a productive child, have a child that um, can grow up, or we grow up rather, to become a better individual. So today we're going to be looking at three reasons, three reasons why teenagers fail to manage their time effectively. Just three reasons. And I had to think about this while I was creating this topic. I was like, you know, I've taken notice of some kids, how they misbehave, how they while away their time, and they achieve nothing, and they don't really see it as anything until they find out that some other friends of theirs are making good use of their time. And there are certain things that causes that I had to note down. Just three of many other reasons that could be the cause, but three reasons that I feel that parents need to pay attention to, and find a way to strike a balance and help these kids have a better and better way of life. So one of the reasons why teenagers fail to manage time effectively is because of an unavailable parent, of parents that are unavailable. One of the reasons why teenagers fail to manage their time effectively. One of the reasons why teenagers fail to manage their time effectively is because of their parents that are not available. So you might look at it now that why is that a problem? If their parents are available, the these kids would know would know and understand why timing to everything is important. If their parents are available, they will be cautioned. If their parents are available, they'll be given duties and assignments to do, things that would feel like their parents are monitoring everything that they are doing. And that's one of the reasons why it's always advisable for one of the parents to be available for the kids. If the other person is absent, then somebody needs to be available for the kids to attend to his or her needs and all this kind of thing. Unavailability of parents can affect how these kids will grow up to becoming a better time manager. If the parent is unavailable, the kids will most likely fail to manage his or her time effectively because there's nobody to caution. There's no law, there's no rule, there's no authority to look at, to watch these kids whether the child is um doing something right or wrong. And I remember sharing some time ago, I think while I was talking about um, the program of today, while I was trying to make publicity for it, I mentioned that, what is it called? I was once like that. My parents were not really available per se because they had their lives and they were trying to earn something for us. So they were almost everywhere while we were not anywhere close to them. So what I did was to go to a friend's place and I'll visit my friend early in the morning, very early in the morning, as at 7 o'clock or some minutes to 8, and I'll be leaving there by 6 o'clock. I'm like I spent the entire day at my friend's place. Sometimes I will leave there by 7, sometimes by 8, and it is terrifying because there's no mother to check up whether I'm at home or not. There's no father to check up whether I'm at home or not. I would not even do any house chores before leaving home. My parents were not at home at that point in time because they probably had rushed to their working place or something. So it was that terrible. And I lived like that for many years before things started changing and I started having a form of clarity to what I want in my life. And if a child, if a child does not have a parent around to guide, to protect, to observe how he or she uses his or her time, that child would just be gallivanting his or her life. The child will be gallivanting his or her life aimlessly, just without any form of focus. And once there is no focus, when there's no goal, when there's no aspiration, when there's no vision for yourself, you are not going to have a form of time management. You're not going to know what you want. You're just going to be doing different things that's form of aimless. That does not make any sense. So having an unavailable parent can make a child miss his or her way, can make a child not use his or her time right. And it is very, very, very important. It is very, very important for a parent, for every parent to understand that one of the problems of having having failure in time management is being unavailable for your child and being there to help your child know that okay, this is what you're supposed to be doing at this point in time. These are the things that are supposed these are the rules and regulations in the school, in the house, and I'm going to be watching you, I'm going to be observing you, I'm going to be taking note of whatever thing you're doing to be sure that you're doing them right. So having an unavailable parent can affect having an unavailable parent can affect how a child grows up to be an effective time manager. And it is very, very important for parents to take note of this. And I feel that the solution to such thing is for what is it called? Is for the parents to sacrifice. Parent to sacrifice. One person needs to be available if both of them are too busy. And there are options now. There are remote jobs that parents can do, and if one person is on site, then the other person is online working at home. And it does not really matter as regards gender. It could be the man that will be at home, it could be the woman that will be at home, as long as someone is monitoring these kids as they grow. Because once you are absent, once you're not available, once what's it called? once the child do not have somebody that is monitoring him or her, this child would lose track of time and just gallivant his or her time with aimlessly. I think that's the word. So your child just gallivant his or her time aimlessly. And the second thing I have here is knowing the difference between what is important, urgent, and important but not urgent. So I think one of the problems that we have is people mistaking what is important as what should be important and urgent. Sometimes some things are important, but they are not urgent. Some things are very, very much important, but they are not urgent. And I spoke about that last week when I was talking about something that the child needs to do now, that they can do later, they can schedule for later, they can delay it, they can delay, or whatsoever. All those things when it comes to prioritization, I was talking about it. I talked about it last week in the last broadcast, and it is very, very important. It is very, very important for teenagers, parents to know the difference between what is important and urgent. What is important but not urgent. So if a child wants to know the difference, he or she needs to measure the consequences. If I do this now, okay, I need to, for instance, okay, so for instance, what is it called? Um, reading, reading for an examination as a teenager, reading for an examination as a teenager. Um, Once you're done with a class in a day, don't just assume that it's the first week of resumption. Then you're done with a particular class. Then you read for that particular class. That is very important, but it's not urgent, of course. But once something is important but not urgent, it does not mean that it is not valuable. It just means that it's not as urgent as reading for something that you probably need to sit for the test or exam the following day. Now, if you are reading at the beginning of the term, you most likely will be sitting for a test at the midterm, at the middle of the term, or at the end of the section of the term, rather of the term. So, if you are reading at the beginning, it is important but not urgent. But if you are sitting for a test, so if you are sitting for a test by the end of the week, then it's most likely that it is important and urgent. So know the difference, and the difference, like I said, is um, related when it comes to how the intensity of the repercussion of not doing that thing at the right time. If a kid know that um, this is what I'm meant to do, if I don't do it now, this is what will happen. How bad is it? How bad is the consequences? I think parents need to teach their kids how to know how to measure consequences of things if they don't do something that is very important now. What is the consequences of that? So teach your kids how to know what is important and urgent, what's important but not urgent, the difference. Let them know the difference. And and the importance of doing both. Once you do something that is important but not urgent, it helps you save the whole stress of or the anxiety of trying to rush things at the end once it becomes urgent at the end of the day. So teach your kids how to know the difference between something that is important and urgent, something that is important but not urgent, and let them know how to manage both, because could be something that once important, how to do it at the appropriate important. So parents need to between and something that is important, knowing something, how to manage, do what, knowing when to do what and what. The last thing I have today is so if I sorry for the lost in translation. That's lost in transmission rather. That's the network. That's Nigeria's network, anyways. So so what I was saying is I was so amazed at the way this particular man was already teaching this kid how to save at that particular age. I think the boy was probably 4, maybe 4. I don't think it's up to 5. I'm not sure. I don't think it's up to 5 yet. So let's just say 5 years old. Was already teaching him about how to save and things like that. So as a parent, you need to start helping your kids nurture the idea of having a purpose, having a vision, having a goal, having an objective, something to look forward to. And it's not a terrible idea asking them what they would like to learn, what they would like to know, what they would like to become, those kind of topics, so that they can start doing something about it. So they can start doing something about it. And once they become busy with something, once they have something on their table that they need to wake up every morning for, once they have something on their table that they need to attend to every day, then they would know how to use their time effectively. Once they wake up every morning and they know that, okay, I'm supposed to read this part of my book. I'm supposed to attend to this part of my life. I'm supposed to fix this thing up. I'm supposed to do this. Once they have goals, objective, purpose for the day, once they have things outlined for the day, then it becomes easy for kids like that to manage time effectively. And these things can only be possible if parents teach their kids that, how to identify their goals, objective, purpose. What do you want to do? What are you interested in? Would you like to learn music? Would you like to learn how to draw? What are you interested in? What are you interested in? Start helping that kid do something about his or her interest. Once the kid start doing something about his or her interest, then little by little, he or she starts aiming for bigger picture, seeing things clearly. Okay, I think no, I don't enjoy this. I want to do this instead. So it is very important for parents to look into that direction rather, for parents to be able to help their kids learn about their purpose, their desire, their goals, whatever objectives they have in mind. And nothing, nothing can beat that. Nothing can beat that. Please, as a parent, don't take this thing for granted. Please don't take it for granted. It would go a long way in helping your child becoming a better person, helping your child becoming a better individual. You can't exchange it for anything. So I'll repeat it again like I used to do. And the first thing I said about the true reasons why teenagers fail to manage their time effectively is because parents are not available. We have unavailable parents. The first thing is we have unavailable parents, parents that are not always present, parents that do not know how their kids spend their day. If you know how your kids spend his or her day, then you'll be able to help this child manage it properly because you're already experienced, because you're already exposed, because you have seen more than this child have seen. Then you can help this child manage it properly because he or she do not know that he or she is not doing it right. So that is where you come into play, where you can help this child manage his or her time because you are present, because you can see it, because you know. Do you understand? If you are not available for your kids, you would not know how they spend their day. And once you don't know, this child would just have an aimless life. This child would just be roaming around, doing actually nothing, just playing, gisting, talking. Just the same way I said said about my story. It's the same thing. So every parent needs to be available for their kids. And like I said before, there are different ways to stay available, to be available for your child. One of the most important ways, one of the most important thing in this our generation, of course, that has been changed, sort of, because the thing that we complained of before was that we are going out to work and we're looking for money. Now, the opportunities of working from home, the opportunities of doing things remotely. So that should help you knowing that should help you know how to manage your time effectively. And please, please, parents need to take note of things like this. It would help your kid grow up to become productive. So the next thing I said was knowing the difference between what is important and urgent and what is important but not urgent. Knowing the difference between what is important and urgent and what is important but not urgent. There are certain things that are very much important, but they are not urgent. They can wait. Do you understand? And um, if one relegates what is important and urgent for what is important but not urgent, then one would fail. So it's important for every parent to help their kids because they don't know the difference. Help them understand that usually once you want to know the difference between what is important and urgent is based on how the effect, if you do not do this thing now, what is the effect? If you do not do this thing today, what's the effect going to be tomorrow? Do you understand? So if you see the effect, then you compare both to each other, which is worse. Once you know the one that is worse, then you know that that one is what is important and urgent. I hope this is clear enough. I hope this is clear enough. And the last thing that I noted is um, helping your kids have a goal, a desire, an objective, helping your kids have a purpose. And this would feel like nothing, but um, I think it's Miles Monroe that said, when purpose is lost, oh sorry, I think it's oh please, why do I forget this? When purpose is lost, uh, wow, I forgot that. Once I remember, I would just I don't know why is this say why is this disturbing my head. Anyways, once purpose is lost, then every other thing doesn't work. Once a person does not have a purpose, when a person does not have a goal, when a person does not have an objective or an desire, then um, things would not go according to plan. I'm still trying to remember the quote, but that's that. Once purpose is lost, then everything doesn't work. So please help your kids learn how to be purposeful, how to have a goal, how to have a desire, how to have an aspiration for something. Nothing beats that. I've always been saying that nothing beats that. Once they have something that they are waking up for every morning, yeah, they have something that they need to do at every point in time. It makes it easy for them to know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my time. I'm not supposed to be gallivanting. I'm not supposed to be wasting it on things that are not important. So please, why is these quotes trying to distract me? When purpose is lost, forgotten. Okay, so that's that. So please and please and please, it's very, very important. It's very, very important. It's very, very important for you to put this into consideration, learn this, help your kids know how to be purposeful, help your kids know how to set goal and have something to wake up to. It is very, very important because at the end of the day, once they grow up, they need to live like that. Thank you very much for holding up. Thank you, Olamide, as always, for coming up and making comments. I'm sincerely grateful for always showing up. Thank you for always showing up. I'm sincerely grateful. And of course, please, this would be shown on YouTube. Help subscribe and check out every other video that I've posted. Like, share, comment, and make reactions. I would really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much for today. Thank you for showing up today. Thank you very much. Remember, I'm interested in seeing you become a better person uh, while I work on me too. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye.